Welcome back to Collaboration Conversations. I'm thrilled to be with you here today. I'm your host, Regina Partain Bergman, and I have another fantastic co host with me today. My guest co host today is Celia Diaz, and I am thrilled to have her here and the panelists that she has brought with her. So far, we have one. We may have another one or two show up before the show is over, so we'll let them in as they come. Celia, it's great to have you here. Thank you so much for co-hosting today.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm thrilled and honored to be here.
Awesome. Celia, would you tell our viewers a bit about your journey, kind of what's brought you to this place in your life, and who you serve and why?
Yeah, it's been kind of like a long journey, but I moved from Brazil to United States a few years ago, and now I'm a citizen, and I'm so proud to be a citizen nowadays. And so, when we come to from another country, we go through so many different things. We do so many different work here and there. But I always had this sense that I wanted to do something for business owners because I understood right at the beginning that this is the machine that drives United States, is the business owners. And it took me a long time to get here to do what I do nowadays. I try many different things. And finally, I figure out something that I can do for a small business. And actually, when I started almost a year ago, I was doing a full agency, marketing agency with everything I offered, everything, SEO and, you know, Facebook ads, Google ads, all that kind of stuff. But then I realized that for the people that I really want to work with, the very small business, maybe one guy doing everything, it was not in their budget, if I can say that, right?
Yeah.
And so I had to stop and think about again, what was I doing? Was I just after, a big chunk of money and then next and then next? Or I really wanted to really help. And then I kind of revamped everything and I changed to a more affordable way to help, you know. And really, I'm really passionate about the person who is starting up and just so overwhelmed because we have to do so many things as one person or maybe two people in a business, and I just want to cut the grass and make it the lawn look pretty, but now I have to understand what is Google ads and SEO. I just want to make the lawn really pretty.
Right.
So, and that's what I decided, that I wanted to do that for them so they can, do what they like to do and they do best. And so it's just like I like to have the one person connection
Yes.
and see them thriving, and maybe be friends with them forever. And like, oh, 20 years ago, we started like this. I like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So
It's
if
an
I can
amazing
be that,
feeling, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
It's an amazing feeling. Absolutely. That's awesome.
Hmm.
I like what you're doing, but your reasons behind it as well,
Hmm.
and that desire to really help those solopreneurs be successful. We share similar passions, so
Yes,
I like hearing that.
yeah.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you.
And then, Celia, would you introduce our guest, please, and have him share his story with us?
Yeah, so see, Paul, I met him a few years ago in a networking meeting. Um, so we kind of became a little bit connected afterwards. And since we moved to here, to there, do this, do that, we kind of lost the contact a little bit. But I found him again. We are connected on LinkedIn. And that's why we are here today. And I invited him and Paul Russo. you know. Now you tell a little bit about yourself and
Okay.
your journey too, and how you got here today.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the invite. Like Celia said, we met in networking, and we sat down, we talked, we had a Starbucks together, and did a little some of the things she used to do. We were involved, and we all change and things happen. But no, so let me put this in and I'll tell my story. She's right. Don't ever feel afraid to reach out to someone from the past because we're all
Mm.
still connected. There's a lot of people that, well, I haven't talked to them in a couple of years. Okay, you just say, hey, I know it's been a couple of years. She's like, hey, Paul, how's it going? And I'm like, hey, what's going on? Because I still remember I see her on Facebook and LinkedIn. So we're still connected just because we haven't physically talked. So similar journey. We all solopreneurs and entrepreneurs. We have journeys. My journey started in seventh grade selling Tic Tacs to my seventh grade classmates.
I
That
love
was
it.
my first entrepreneurial business that lasted about a month. Great story. I won't get into it, but I did get an interest-free loan from my parents, which I paid back and had money to buy more Tic Tacs. So I was profitable for a month in seventh grade. Learned that I could mow yards and make some money at. I mean, we're paying what, $40 or $50 here in Dallas. I was making six. A little different,
Oh,
But I was able to buy a car, through that, and had various business, some network marketing businesses, audio video production business for 11 years. We would more on the religious side, and we would get people from around the world sending us their conferences and wanting them cleaned up, and we would ship worldwide. We've shipped to Latvia and Australia, all over the UK, and some of the speakers were from UK, sending me stuff, and I would resell for them and give them a percentage, because a lot of them
oh wow.
were um, living off what they make, So I've always made sure that they got a big chunk of whatever it was the sales was. And now I'm doing a couple things. One is I've started a golf business 3 years ago, November 25th, 2020, right in the middle of when everyone else was at home, right? It's like, hey, let's start a business in the middle of the pandemic. But you'd be surprised how many people did.
Wow.
And I'm also a day trader. My wife does Datura. So we're entrepreneurs. She does have a part-time job that helps pay the bills as we're building. And, everything Celia was saying, solopreneur, trying to build a business, trying to get social media because that's part of marketing these days. Older crowds, such as my parents, they don't understand social media. They don't understand why you have to spend all the time on it. I mean, they look at pictures of the grandkids because they're out of state.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the rest of us are trying to go. We got your traditional marketing and direct mails and some of these things, but everyone wants to see pictures and videos. So, how do I get my stuff on LinkedIn, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, and whatever else is out there? And the people's like, "Hey, what's your WhatsApp handle?" And I'm like, "Really?" And it's like, but I can't spend all my time behind a computer. I need to be
Yeah.
out there talking to people and meeting people
Right.
and the collaboration conversations. My network connections and my collaboration are one of the things that I'm known for. If I wasn't, C would have forgotten all about me and we wouldn't be here. Um, I recently helped a young lady find a job. She was in my wife's network, and she'd been laid off for the eighth time in mortgage just because mortgage, with the
Mm.
rates and whatever, it doesn't really matter. But she was just like, I love mortgage, but I'm tired of layoffs. And I've been taught to do a texting exercise where we just reach out to people. I just reached out, hey, it's been a while. What's going on? She goes, I'm looking for a job. So I know her. She's really good. So I called someone. I said, hey, he goes, yeah, I'm looking for someone, as a matter of fact. Is she interested in PNC insurance? So I call her back. I'm like, what are you thinking about doing? She goes, second thing out of her mouth was, I was thinking about getting my PNC license. Because I just kind of snowballed what are you thinking about doing? You mentioned insurance. What part? So I call him back. I'm like, she's the one. So she started 5 days ago.
Oh wow,
So,
that's so nice.
that's a collaboration.
That's a
Um,
collaboration.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
mean, the
successful
emergency phone call
collaboration.
I was doing right before I got on this was a collaboration because I needed a PDF of a website that doesn't have a PDF, and I need it today because the person on the other end works for a major top golf type place, and she's leaving in 7 days, and she wants a PDF of my product so we can give it to the CEO before she leaves. So when you talk about collaborations, she's telling me what she needs. I'm going to get in front of the CEO. I have someone that can do a slide deck, but put it into a PDF, and we can all make it happen today. So if you don't have a network, you don't have collaborations.
Yes.
You're sitting here going like, well, I can make a PDF, but it's going to be probably won't get me anywhere. So collaboration to me goes hand in hand with networking and building a network and utilizing a network. I mean, it's not, I say utilizing because you're not using them. You're providing your knowledge, your information, your network to someone else. And the expectation is they're doing the same, or you're not going to do stuff with them. And that's what collaboration is about. We're all working together, trying to help each other, trying to make a living, and like Celia said, see things happen. You see things grow, and they're like, wow, I remember them when, right? I remember them when they were struggling, had a concept, and look at them now. They're in their own office building with a name on the side.
Yeah. It's so exciting, isn't it?
It is. Oh, yeah, it is. I'm like, in the last 6 weeks, my golf business has really taken a turn from startup to really actually, starting to really pick up steam. But it takes time. But so many people have helped me out. Introductions, and willingness to help me, listen to me, give me ideas. I had a great conversation with a guy yesterday that is so connected in the golf area. And she's just giving me names. I'm writing as fast as I can going, I need to record this thing. Collaboration. I mean, you can call it what you want, but it's all collaboration.
It's all collaboration, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's interesting too about the collaboration. Even people who does the same thing I do, we also help each other because it doesn't matter. We're not afraid that, well, if you help him, he does what you do, then he's going to get a customer and you're not. But it's not like that. Like I found someone in the group that I belong to where we give tips, to each other because we use huge platforms with huge, things. So we don't know everything. And then I made a friend. A few times we got on Zoom to help him figure out the stuff that I do exactly what he does. And so now we're actually going to work together.
Awesome.
Good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So it's amazing how we can, with no intentions of actually getting anything, all we want is to kind of get the other person moving, and then now we're going to work together.
It's such an important point, Celia, that when we're collaborating, it's not about what am I going to get out of this, right?
Yeah.
I think you expressed that as well, Paul, that it's not about that.
It's a huge part. I mean, Celia, you're part about someone said always going to get your customer. That's a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure, Regina, where you're from, but we're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. There's probably enough people that we can share. Right?
And I'm just down the road from you, Paul. I'm in Houston area.
Okay. So
literally down the road.
Just down the road. Just go that way instead of this way.
Yeah.
And but no, that's important. See, that's very important in saying it doesn't really matter if they get a customer or for someone I'm looking for, because there's more, and that there's no. It's not that there's no expectation. The expectation is, hey, maybe they can help me. Maybe I can help them. But it's not like, money always has to change hand when your collaboration is. It may turn into that. It may not. But you two could become business partners, and now you're no longer the solopreneur trying to handle everyone's. Now you have a partner. So collaborations can turn into partnerships. And then Celia has her name on the side of the building, right next to mine and yours. And if people would understand that, and it would be so much easier to work with people. And it's like when Celia, I saw that, the first thing I did is like, okay, I'm checking my emails at the current time, so I clicked on it. I don't let emails rule my life, but I it's like, okay, hey, it's been a while, let me see what she's up to. And it wasn't like well, what does she need?
Right.
Yeah.
It was like,
Right.
because everyone just asked me. I'm like, yeah, I want to see what she's up to. And changing mindset and realizing as a solopreneur, there's so many people out there that can help you. But on the same part is like this lady I was doing this call with. I said, can you do this? What will it cost me? And she said, I'm like, okay, that's fine. You know, she built slide decks and she charges 30 grand to build slide decks
Wow.
for major companies.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she's part of my mastermind. So I'm like, first one I thought about is like her, you know,
Yeah.
so that's part of collaboration too, because I know what she does. And it's like, who can do this for me? Hopefully today it'll cost me some money, but I need it because it's a nationwide company I'm trying to just get in front of all of a sudden because I called this girl's dad and talked to him. And he says, oh, she's leaving. And I'm like, I better do something fast. You know, so it's just like, you know, sometimes things go slow, sometimes things go fast. But when you talk about, in my situation, the dad, the actual lady I'm working with, the designer, I mean, and myself, that's 4 people that we're all collaborating. We're not holding back. You know, she could have said, well, you know, hey, it's been a while. Yeah, I'm leaving my job. I don't have time for you. But she was like, yeah, I know it's been, and I told her, I said, you know, I know it's been a couple of years because as a startup, we were just trying to get it figured out, you know,
Right.
and she appreciated that because the job she's going to, she's starting up a division for another company. But I was
Nice.
also able to tell her, I don't know who your team is, but I have someone that has 20 years experience administrating a mega church that's looking. If you look,
Yeah.
as you build, as things come on in the next 4 or 5, 6 months, you need someone with something like that. Let me know.
Yeah.
I'll be more than happy to put in. So, you know, helping,
Can
collaboration, helping, same thing.
Yeah. Can we talk about the mindset of collaboration for a moment? Because I think you've both
Sure.
brought out several really good things on that. But let's channel that a bit into mindset. And what is the mindset of someone who is collaborative? What is the first thing you think about when you meet folks? What do you know, what do when in these situations that you've had, Paul, like you were just talking about, what is your mindset as a
Well,
collaborative person?
what I like to do when I sit down with someone is I like to ask them, I try to beat them to the, hey, what do you do? Who are you? It's like, tell me about yourself. I mean, I can talk, hey, why don't you tell me about you and what you're about and,
Yeah,
you know, how'd you get there? And, you know, ultimately it should go back and forth, hopefully. And it's like, you know, what can I do to help you? What do you, my mind works while they're talking. I'm thinking, I'm
right.
paying attention. My mind's just going like, okay, the New York Life guy I talked today, he's a golfer. You know, we talked. It's like, okay, tell me about yourself. Well, he's an Aggie. When he was in COVID, he reached out to his Aggie network and collaborated. And it's like, great. My nephew's an Aggie, you know, and we just talked about that. And we talked about golf and it's back and forth. And it's like, what can I do to help you? You know, so the mindset is being open and being willing to help, you know,
Right.
and listen. The biggest thing people don't do is they don't listen.
Yeah.
I learned from someone, they used to call it golden nuggets. You're having a conversation with someone, what kind of golden nuggets can you get? And there's
Yeah.
different types. There's a golden nugget where you can say, I'm willing to help this person and I have someone that I can probably put him in front of. And he said the same thing. He goes, I got this guy I can put you in front of. I'm like, that's cool. But
Yeah.
there's also golden nuggets like, okay, he's only been married 2 years. It's like, how's that going? You know, he just bought a house. So he's telling me some of these things that, you know, can I'm not sure the proper word, but I'm just going to say it can be utilized in the future
Right.
to help him.
Right.
It's like, I'm like, so you're a golfer, you're getting a new putting green in your backyard because I have these like, cool golf balls. But I didn't say, but I did say, you get a putting green in there? I just left it at that. But and then what I tend to do is I go into my CRM and when I'm putting in notes, I'll put in there the nuggets.
Oh,
So I
nice.
remember to follow up
Nice.
and like, you know, I told him if I said I'll hook you up with so and so, excuse me, I want to make sure it helps. The mindset is openness. Celia hit it on
Oh,
the
yeah.
head. No expectations. You're willing to help. They're willing to help you. That's the mindset. And we mentioned scarcity before because we're all
Right.
starting scarcity. It's like, oh my gosh. But when you get over that,
Yeah.
that mindset it can just blow your mind, and it makes you so more creative.
Right.
Yeah.
When you
Right.
talk to anyone, and I tell you that's the way my brain works. I just come up with ideas,
Yeah.
and sometimes I have to slow myself down because I have too many coming. But my mindset has always been of service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's that's kind of who I am, and people know me for that. But mindset takes time. Mindset takes practice. Mindset takes study. And some people get it, some people don't, but that's okay.
And a willingness to put them above you.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm always thinking, who do I know that can be of benefit to this person when I'm introducing someone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celia, what were you going to say?
Well, and also, and I think the fact that we have the mindset and then we train ourselves also because we grew up when we little kids, we are selfish, right? Mine. So thank
Whoa,
goodness
I guess we were, weren't we?
grow up out
Especially
of
if you
that,
have brothers or
right?
sisters, it's like,
Yeah,
no, that's mine, mom.
that's
They won't let
mine.
me.
Yeah.
Right.
So thank goodness some of us made the way out of there. And I was like, here, we can have something for you too. Because, we are like, to me, like we're connected, not just in this earth, the way we see each other. We, spiritually, we are all connected. I am a spiritual person. And this connection is like we here. You are like 5 people away from this person on the other side of the world or
Right.
something. And they're like, when you help that lady, you benefited the whole company that is going to have her there. She's going to bring
True.
something to the company. And look at how many people might benefit from her being there and her making the company whatever they need to be better. And from there it's like a cascade of events,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's when I think about collaboration, I think about like that. One person, the next person is going to become even more things, and the other
Yeah,
next person is going to be like a tree and the roots, and it goes
right.
out like that. So
That's what I like to call the ripple effect, Celia.
yes,
And I
yes,
love being
I
part of
I
that
love
ripple
Right.
that.
effect.
Yeah, I love
Oh
that. I
yeah. I
think
mean,
it's very nice. Be
it's so important
useful, right?
to have that mind to once again mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's funny when you mentioned with kids and we're stingy, and you're like, yeah. It's like you don't think about brothers and sisters, mine,
Yeah.
and like Celia said, we break out of that because there's still a lot of people that are even
Hopefully we
in
do.
even in a corporate, it can be really bad in a corporate setting.
Yeah.
And I when I go to networking events, I'm there to meet people and see what's going on. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you'd be surprised with that mindset and willingness to look at other people beyond just what you see here.
Yes.
Right.
And but let's look at the other side. Not everything works out, but
Mm-hmm.
you still
Sure.
need to. You don't know until you collaborate and try to do some work, and then a lot of times you're making the best situation out of it
Mm-hmm.
for yourself. I mean, sometimes you do have to be selfish,
True.
and you know, and sometimes you have to not collaborate. And
There are good
there's
collaborations and there are bad
yeah,
collaborations.
I mean,
And
you have to look at both sides.
absolutely.
You know, having collaborations and connections could be as good or bad as a marriage could be, if we just want to say that. And I had a situation that was kind of surprising in collaboration. I was in an event talking to someone, and the lady came up. I've known her for years, and I tried to get her business, and she just the ball, so I don't anymore. She
Mm-hmm.
comes up and she goes, "Oh, I want to give a hug to my friend." So she hugged the other guy, pretty much ignored me. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I wasn't offended. I was just like, well, that just kind of proves on collaboration we tried to have. There's a reason it didn't work. It's okay. No more collaboration. We're friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. We're
Yeah.
not like,
Yeah.
and you can't always, collaboration is not using someone.
It is
Mm-hmm.
not. And there's a values perspective, a trust and a
Mm-hmm.
value perspective that comes into
Mm-hmm.
any collaboration, right? So we're looking for people with shared values, uh,
Mm-hmm.
people with integrity, people we can trust, and we want to be that person also, right?
Mm-hmm.
That trustworthy person with integrity that someone else would want to partner with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not
Right.
just about who we're
Yeah.
looking for, but who we're showing up as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
And
it also, that's why it takes a little while for us to really start collaborating, right? And because only after we talk to the
Yeah.
person, we kind of know more about the person, and we
Yes.
get into it because we want a real collaboration where both ends gonna end up in the the good side of it. We
Right.
don't want to lose, but we also don't want the other person to take advantage. So it takes time
mhm.
to we build a trust. So
Yeah. It
it's also
does.
we have to
It
be a
does.
little mindful of that too. The trust that we need to build first.
Yeah.
Right. And what I thought about while you were saying that is in collaboration, you can't always have an expectation. Well, I did something for Celia and I helped her, and one of these days she's going to give me someone back, and it needs to be soon.
Hmm.
I mean, think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it's good to have expectations, but having expectations can put you on the edge.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Not that you shouldn't, but my expectation is, hey, we've connected again. We'll probably connect some more. There may be someone that I can help with. There may be someone she can help me with once we get back, because she wasn't doing SEO and marketing and all that kind of stuff when I met her, and I wasn't doing golf.
Hmm.
There's
Right.
Yeah.
another reason to get back together, and it's
Life
like
changes.
life
Yeah.
changes, and we all know a ton of small business people that are they need the collaborations in order
Hmm.
to grow.
Absolutely.
It does take a village. It
Yeah.
really does take,
Yeah.
and having the collaborations with all kinds of people at all different levels in all different walks of life, because the network marketing field, they say you're just one person away. Well, that's in any business. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how big you are or how small you are.
Right.
It can be one person directly or one person that connects you with someone. It's like this product that I have now for our golf company. I came across my LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a business place. Facebook, I'm out there a lot because there's a lot of golf tournaments and all that kind of stuff, and we work with tournament directors and nonprofits.
Right.
But this guy came across my feed, and I reached out to him. We've talked on the phone a couple times, and he's in Canada, and he has a fabulous product, and I have it. And these golfers, it's like candy to them. They just can't. It's not. It's not so much a drug, but you can think about golf. So it's like I can't keep these things in stock, and I was like, okay, I'm ordering more, and some of these promo companies, I show it to them, they're like, ooh, we need to
The
have
golf
we need to have
drug
some.
of the day. Huh?
That's right. Pedaling out of the back of my pickup truck, I just can't. It's not illegal.
Yeah.
That's why I started my initial product was out of the back of my pickup truck.
Is that right?
Giving it to golfers and saying, hey, it's a putting green. I'm like, hey, let's try this out. And they're like, got good feedback. And they're like, you sell it? I got them for free. And I'm like, sure. Let me get one. I got them in the back of my pickup truck. So, but I'm also able to collaborate with those people because they know other golfers.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So collaboration is such a big word, and people have to realize it affects all aspects of what it
Yeah.
is you try to do. I mean, when I was in the
Exactly.
corporate and I was a programmer, I would collaborate with other programmers from other. I worked for a couple of cities on their financial system, and so it was a big nationwide financial system. The vendor had a good product, so we'd
Hmm.
all talk to each other, collaborate
Yeah.
on how to make things work. How are you doing this at your city? Because the software does this. It's like we're doing it. And like, that's not a bad idea. Or hey, and just different things. And then what collaboration also does is it help you build that know, like, and trust, but it builds you a reputation.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we leave that out. We all want to have a good reputation. And I just think back on some of the collaborations that I've done. And the funny story is this piece of software had a national help desk. So you had a problem, you call the help desk and they would help you collaborate, get it fixed. And I started getting phone calls going like, hey, I called the help desk and they told me to do this. What do you think? I'm like, that's not the way I would have done it, but it'll work. So, you know, life is a story of collaborations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, when we talked about not having expectation, right? And then now I'm thinking like, we go with the things that we think will be helpful to our business, right? It's a natural thing. But like, it's not the expectation that I'm going to gain something from it, but we also kind of stay in the area where we think I am also going to benefit, because I'm not going to collaborate with a soccer player because I don't understand anything about soccer, and I don't even watch soccer, and I have nothing to do with soccer unless
Right.
he is building a business, you know? So if it's just about soccer, like, come watch the soccer game and bring your friends, then
Right.
I'm not being much of a help. But
Well, and it's
what I'm trying to say is that we stay around the area where we have something to offer, right?
yeah,
And the other person will have the same thing that I'm offering that will benefit them, and they might benefit me somehow, maybe never, but we kind of stay in the same area. It doesn't mean that I'm going after someone specifically and just wait until I can get something from this person. But if I'm collaborating with that person, maybe I already have, okay, this is a nice person that I would love to have in
yeah,
my network, right? Will not only benefit my business, but also I know this person can benefit other people that I serve. That kind of
good,
expectation, I guess.
Right.
good
Yeah.
point. And I think today is a great example of that. So
Mm-hmm.
I offered you the opportunity to co-host today, Celia, as a way of
Mm-hmm.
giving value to you.
Yes.
You invited Paul as a way of giving value to him.
Uh-huh.
Neither of us
Yeah.
are expecting a direct return from that.
Yeah.
I mean, if good things come, that's amazing and that's
Yeah.
wonderful, and we accept that with open arms,
That's
right?
right. Right.
We're
Exactly.
not turning
And
it
that,
away, but we're providing value to our collaborative partners here.
Yes.
mhm, right. And
Very.
that's why, like, when we were in the green room, so to say, it's like, hey, everyone's getting a recording, pass it out because you're a profit doctor. So you're helping people maximize their profit.
Right.
And so we can all use you. Right.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times different people speak to different people in different ways.
Yes.
Sometimes it's like, I have some friends that are in business and I'm going, would I really do business with them or not? And there's some like, I want to do business with you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my best friend asked me, he's like, I'm going to sell my house in Carrollton and buy one in Frisco, suburbs of Dallas. And I'm like, he knows I'm connected. So I'm like, hey, I have this realtor. He's like, I said, okay, I have the perfect one for you. Said, we all went to school together. You were at a different high school just down the street. So I called her up and I said, hey, Christine, I said, I got one for you. She's like, what's that? I said, my best friend wants to sell his house and buy one in the same month. Just out of the blue. So you're talking about commission on,
Yeah.
$370,000 house to buy and a $200,000 house to sell.
Right.
Collaboration. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, asking them, hey, or giving them the opportunity to say, here's 2-3 people. Which one do you want to collaborate with? And
Mm-hmm.
it's a good thing because if you only have one person of one thing, it may not work together.
May not be the right fit.
It
Yeah.
may not be the right fit. And people need to understand that the part of collaboration on the person initiating collaboration is like, is this a fit?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I read a book that was talking about your customers when I was doing the audio video, and it's like, don't be afraid to fire your best customer if because the money's the best, but if it's just
Yeah.
you
I
know
have a story on that one.
we
I had to
all
fire a
and
client. They were a bank,
Yeah.
and the
Wow.
person that we had to deal with was, oh my goodness, I'll just put it this way. When I fired that client, my staff were all so thrilled because they didn't have to deal with her anymore because
Mm-hmm.
she was never easy to deal with or kind
mm,
or polite or any of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just, I said, we're not the right partner for you. Let me recommend some others that
mm,
might be better for you because I was just listening to, the beatings my staff were taking
mm.
from her,
No, and and that's good that you realize that, and a lot of people are afraid to do that.
Yeah. I said, no,
I
we're
mean,
not
you have
right.
to
And it
because
was,
they're like,
you could
hey,
just
bring
feel
us
the
in
weight
some.
fall off from everybody when I
Mhm.
fired her.
Mm-hmm.
And then it makes everyone happier, and you can move on with your business instead of
Yeah.
losing people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Absolutely.
how a business person can have the wrong collaboration, and their staff has to do most of the work with that
Yeah.
group. In
Mm-hmm.
your case, the bank, and you're like, "Why? I'm out of here. Why you out of that bank or that whatever?" And you're like,
Yeah.
I should have done something. Oh, too late
Yeah.
now."
And it was really interesting because I had a staffing firm at the time. And so we were placing employees with them. And the bank manager was just amazing. We sat down and we just connected instantly. But then the operations officer was brought in to handle the relationship, and it just went south from there.
It's a shame because we all have those stories too.
Yeah.
You get moved from one boss to the next boss, and in my case, it cost me my job.
Uh,
I wouldn't do anything different. It's just this, yeah, it's a whole story, right? We all have these stories,
we all have these stories.
and
Yeah.
but I'm better off for it. And it didn't really hurt me because I knew it was coming, and I'm like, it's about time to go anyways.
Yeah.
So
So
fire me
onward
so
and
I can get
upward, right?
yes, fire me so I can get unemployment so I can work on my business. And
So
I
we
mean,
can get
hey,
going.
people are always like, oh my gosh, and so work is a collaboration. Everyone has to work
Yeah,
together.
Mm-hmm.
People
exactly.
hire on. I had one interview as a programmer. The guy didn't ask me one programming question because I had the history. My resume was decent,
Right.
but it's about culture.
About culture.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
Absolutely.
hire on company culture because
Yeah.
people can learn.
Yeah.
If you're the biggest thing about collaboration is I was a trainer for 18 years in the school bus industry. If you're not willing to collaborate with someone and help them get trained,
Yeah.
you're just gonna die a slow death in the company because I had a conversation with the recruiter at a software firm and they had to have this perfect person. And I knew there wasn't because the software is brand new. And so I asked her straight out, I said, can we kind of talk frankly? She goes, sure. I said, so I offered her like a 90-day trial, no benefits at a really reduced, like a 30 grand annual.
Right.
And if she didn't like what I was doing in 90 days, she could just move me to the curb.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And she's like, no, 6 months later, that job is still out there. So, depending on how you want to look at collaboration, everything you do is, every relationship is.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to work
Agree.
my way in and but it's a collaboration too, which whatever she's being told,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I told her if I want the job, I will work and prove to you in 90 days that it's doable.
Right. Right.
And I'm looking at the word collaboration on that's why I look up. I see
Okay.
it. Because
Yeah.
I haven't really used that word a lot. We talk about
Yeah.
networking and meeting
We
people
talk
and
about
building
networking a
trust.
lot, but
Yeah.
We
collaboration's
don't think about the
above
word
that.
collaboration. And I'm like,
Yeah.
interesting. I'll have to use that
Yeah.
more.
Like
Yeah.
And
network meeting is a big collaboration, right?
right. Oh my gosh. Network meetings I've been to in the last 2 weeks have just changed my life and my business.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
It
But
really has. It's just like,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Something I learned about networking, it was like this. don't go into a network meeting and pass out all your business cards.
Yeah.
It's
Wrong thing
better
to do.
if you get some business cards or maybe one or two out of that whole meeting at first.
Yeah.
And then you strike conversation with just two people. And then start building relationship with them for, then you can, next time you get another person. I thought it was very interesting because I didn't know anything about network meeting. It was like the first time I went to one was at the Chamber of Commerce in Denton. And then there was this person there talking about how to do networking. I was like, yeah, well, that's very interesting, and then you see this a lot. People come, they have a stack of business card and they put it on your hand.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah. That's
okay,
not
what am I
networking.
supposed to do with this
That's not
card now,
networking.
right?
And
No.
and Paul gave 2 words earlier too that
Mhm.
really apply in that situation, and that
Mhm.
is asking questions. That's 2 words, right? But the third word is listening.
Listening.
Yeah.
It's-
With
it's-
that, we have to do our wrap-up round, folks. We
Well,
are out of time.
Oh my gosh,
We
that was
gotta
so
go,
much
we gotta
fun.
go.
When you're having fun, there's someone has to pull the plug, right? And go,
I know. And I always have the bad role of having to pull the plug.
I know, right? And it goes so fast. Wow.
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
Celia,
wow.
would you share your final thoughts about collaboration and give us your contact information? And then also, would you have Paul do the same thing after you?
Okay, so my final thought is that collaboration is an engine, and then we put pieces together, and then we are part of this engine that moves the economy. Can you imagine moving a whole economy of a country the size of the United States through collaboration,
I
which we
love
think
that.
is very small, but that's to me how I think it is collaboration. And yes, I give my email.
Yes, please.
Okay, so my email is Celia, Celia, at clearmarketingsystems.com. And I'm on Facebook, Celia Diaz. I'm on LinkedIn. So you kind of find me there too.
Awesome. Very good. And I put that in the chat for folks,
Okay.
your email. Awesome.
Thank you.
May I quote you? I'm going to make a quote graphic on that, on what you just said, that collaboration is the engine that moves the economy. And I'm going to attribute it
Yeah,
to you, my friend.
that's
Well,
good. There
thank
you
you.
go. There
You
you
know
go.
what?
You'll be known for eons.
There you go.
I'm glad you asked her first because it gave me a chance to think. Right?
Yeah.
But mine is actually along the same lines as her. As she was, it
Give me
came to
another
me, and
good
as she
quote here,
was saying,
Paul.
Yeah.
yeah. Mine was, I thought collaboration makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing as Celia said, because we all have to work to, I think about the stories you hear about Henry Ford, getting the assembly line started and the collaboration
Right.
and making the economy that Cecilia, because without Henry Ford in this example, where would we be with a lot
Yeah.
of these things? Because everything is pretty much assembly line these days.
Right.
But her statement about the U.S. economy is perfect in the collaboration, and I just thought the global thing, and so I'm
Yeah.
glad you didn't ask me first, but but I would have come up with something. I would have
Yeah.
looked really
You're a
good.
good person to think on your
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I sometimes don't know what I'm going to say, but it's usually pretty good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. My wife says that. She goes, "I never know what's going to come out of your mouth," and I'm like, sometimes I don't either. But hopefully it'll be good. No, I mean, we have to collaborate in everything we do. It's so important. So my contact info. So I mentioned golf. So my golf company is called Putt Better. 3 words. IPUTT Better. So I
.com.
might put bet, .com. I'm on Facebook as Paul Russo. I Putt Better. LinkedIn is both. TikTok is I Putt Better. I mean, you go I Putt Better over pretty much any active social media except Snapchat. Because I thought that was dead. I thought Snapchat had died.
Right.
I guess it resurrected itself.
Oh, wow.
I heard someone go the other day, "Are you on Snapchat?" And this is an older person, older our age. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's really easy. It's Paul at iputtbetter.com.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so
Very
I came up
good.
with the name, went out to Google. I mean, the GoDaddy was available. I paid a penny for it. And so I just,
Don't you
that
love
was my,
those?
yeah, the first year. The second year, it's like, well, it's not quite a penny. Um,
Yeah.
so, but I searched social media before I took the name. And as soon as I
Mm-hmm.
bought the .com, I went to social media and grabbed it on everything.
Yeah,
So that
awesome.
way
Well,
I own the
yeah.
whole thing. But yeah, this has been great. Celia,
Yeah.
thanks for
Well,
inviting
thank
me.
you
I
for coming.
appreciate that.
Thank you,
I am
Regina.
trying to get on more podcasts, So my call to anyone watching this for all three of us would be you need a guest, whether it's an audio or video podcast. We're all fabulous people. We're all
Amen.
Texans. Don't hold it against us. And we'd love to be on a podcast, a video
Yeah.
cast. I
Yep.
mean, we all have, we all support it. Once again, we're collaborating.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And if folks are interested in being a co-host or guest here on this LinkedIn Live, would love to visit with them as well. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
awesome. This has been
Cool.
wonderful. Thank you, Celia, for agreeing to be my co-host today and
Well,
for
thank
bringing
you.
Paul. This has been a great, intimate
Yeah.
conversation. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you both for
Mm-hmm.
being here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fun. Celia, thanks for, and
Thank you so much,
we need to hook
Regina.
up in person because we're not that far apart, And if we go
That's
to Houston,
right.
we got to
Yeah.
stop at
Yeah,
Bucky's.
and if you come to Houston, you'll have to look me up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get down there.
Yeah.
I get down there.
Awesome.
So I appreciate it. It's been fun. I look at the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
It went quickly, didn't it?
It's
It
nice.
did.
So if you two will hang around for just a moment in the green room, want to visit with you again for
Okay.
just a moment. We're going to say goodbye to our viewers. Folks, thanks for joining us again today
Mm-hmm.
on Collaboration Conversations. Join us again next time. Until then, have a great week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.